and welcome to Mumbles Community Council AGM on the 12th of May 2026. Could I just start the meeting with a bit of bad news with the death of Robert Francis Davis, who's a cabinet member and a friend of the area. Robert was a Morriston councillor for almost 43 years. He was obviously heavily involved in Langland Lifeguard Club, and he led and drove a lot of projects locally across Swansea, but also was a good friend of Mumbles. Myself and Robert didn't agree on everything, but there's no doubt that he worked very hard for Swansea and Mumbles over the years. So my condolences go to his family. I know he's close friends with Rob and a number of the other councillors in the room. So if you would all give me the honour of just giving a minute's silence for that.
Would you stand?
Thanks, everyone. Moving on to some slightly better news, I suppose. Councillor Francesca O'Brien was obviously successful in the elections for the Senedd last week. So I think, we'd all wish her all the best to represent the area. There's absolutely no doubt that she's worked very hard for Mumbles over the last few years. And, if she puts even a small percentage of that work into her Senedd role, she'll do a fantastic job. So big congratulations to myself, and I'm sure all my colleagues would share that being passed on. So if we could minute that, please. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. First item of business is to elect a chair of the council. So we've had two nominations. Oh, I should put my lovely medal on just in case it's the last time I get to wear it. It's insured for. You lost it. Yeah. No, it's insured for a whopping £10. This. It's a real ribbon and genuine fake gold. So we've got two nominations for chair. So I take the vote for the.
Please.
You could nominate a name vote. You need a seconder, I think. Okay. Someone would like to second a name vote? Yeah. Certainly. So, Ian, could I ask you to record the votes, and if you could go around the room, please?
First one, chair, would be for Councillor Phil Keaton. If I could ask everybody to their hands up, and I'll write them down.
I think
You should just put your names out and call the
Call the
name.
name out on the name vote. Sorry. So if you go through the list of alphabetically, you go down.
Councillor Trevor Carr, please.
Sorry, guys, what are we voting for? Bill. You either vote for Phil. Okay.
Try. No, he's just muted again. Try one more. Yeah, there we go. Can't quite hear your volume there, Trev. Is it the volume on the TV? On our TV?
No, the mic's on.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you write it on a piece of paper, yes or no?
Put it in.
Well, no, it's got to be a name, hasn't it?
Can I have a
We're saying,
thumbs up for one or the other?
Yeah.
we're saying in the chat.
So we can say.
Guys, if we could stop talking and leave it to the officers, please. We won't give advice. Thank you. Okay, Trevor, could we hear your vote, please? Can you say? But, no, can't hear you. Do you want to put it in the chat?
Can you write it on a bit of
Yeah,
paper?
do you want to write it on a bit of paper and hold it up?
Oh, bless.
It's in alphabetical order is why.
Yeah, so yeah, the order on there.
Maybe.
Yeah, go back to the.
Come back, well, every
Next, councillor business.
Still keeping please.
Councillor Rebecca Fogarty.
Phil Keaton.
Councillor Laura Gilbert.
Will Thomas.
Councillor Richard Jarvis.
Will Thomas.
Councillor Phil Keaton.
Yeah, we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Councillor Sarah Keaton.
Phil Keaton.
So the.
Councillor Xanthi Keaton.
Yeah, stay on the phone and I'll put speaker.
David Lewis.
Phil Keaton. Will Thomas.
Jessica Abram.
Good try.
Councillor McCall.
Councillor Will Thomas.
Okay.
Just admit. Martin O'Neill.
Will Thomas.
Councillor Ian Scott.
Will Thomas.
Councillor, well, I'll put you down as yourself, well, is okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Carrie Townsend Jones.
Phil Keaton.
And Councillor Timothy is sent his apologies.
Can you go back to Trevor and I'll put him on loudspeaker?
Councillor Trevor Carr, please.
Thanks, Trevor.
Two, three, six, I've 9 votes for Councillor Will Thomas and 7 votes for Councillor Phil Keaton.
Thanks, Ian. And thank you all very much. It's much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, do I have to read the declaration? Should know that tonight as well. Did say it. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, the second vote tonight is to elect the vice chair of the council. So we've got 2 nominations for that, which is Carrie Townsend Jones and Dr. Martin O'Neill. Is someone want to request a name vote, or should we move to hands? So if there's
Sorry.
Okay, no, it doesn't. So we've got a nomination. Ian, could I ask you to do the same again for vice chair, please? Thank you.
Councillor Trevor Carr, should I come back to Trevor? Carrie?
Is he on?
Yeah, he's messaging me.
Councillor Hannah Rasmus.
Please.
Rebecca Fogarty.
Carrie Townsend Jones.
Gilbert.
Martin O'Neill.
Councillor Richard Jarvis,
Martin O'Neill.
Councillor Phil Keaton,
Harry Townsend Jones.
Councillor Sarah Keaton,
Carrie Townsend Jones.
Councillor Xanthi Keaton,
Carrie Townsend Jones.
Councillor David Lewis,
Oh, Harry Townsend Jones.
Councillor Rob Marshall,
Martin O'Neill.
Councillor Helen Nelson,
Carrie Townsend Jones.
Councillor Angela O'Connor,
Councillor Martin O'Neill.
Martin, I'll put you down for the same, but okay. Councillor Ian Scott,
Martin O'Neill.
Councillor Will Thomas,
Martin O'Neill.
Harry, I'll put yourself. And Councillor Tim Zoo is absent, and that just leaves Councillor Trevor Carr.
Yes. Thanks, Trevor.
Will this goes on the doors, please? That from above?
It's 8-all.
Okay, so with the chair's casting vote, that is Martin O'Neill elected as vice chair for the coming year. So congratulations, Martin.
Thank you.
So I'll just give a minute for you to do the floor. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's all, isn't it? Go ahead. Rest your hand. No. Well, Sarah will do it. Okay, all right. Thanks all. So moving on to apologies for absence, Ian, please.
Just the one, Chair, Councillor Tim Zoo.
Okay, thank you. And any declarations of interest from anyone on anything on the agenda? Not see any hands. So just moving on to receive the outgoing chair's annual report. So I'll just write something a bit briefer than Martin's one. It's been a great honour to serve as chair of Mumbles Community Council and represent the village that I grew up in. Mumbles is a very special place and I take my role extremely seriously. I always strive to represent everyone in the community from all ages, backgrounds and all parts of society, and to ensure that the council continues to put the people of Mumbles first in everything we do. I would like to place on record my sincere thanks to all of the staff of Mumbles Community Council for the incredible hard work throughout the year. Their commitment, professionalism and dedication to the community are hugely appreciated. I would also like to warmly welcome the new members of staff who have joined us and thank those who have moved on for the service that they contributed to the council. I believe we now have a fantastic team moving forward and I genuinely am excited about the future and the continued professionalism and development of the council. As many people know, Underhill was the first reason I became involved in local politics. I care deeply about the facility and what it means to the community. The members of MCA worked extremely hard over the years to try and make the venue a success, and they deserve recognition for their effort and passion. Since Mumbles Community Council has taken over the running the site, however, it has gone from strength to strength, improving month by month. I would particularly like to thank all the staff involved at Underhill for all the work they've put in every day to make that happen. There is so much happening at the council that it's impossible to mention every project and every individual. What I can say is there is a huge amount of passion among the councillors and the staff. Over the recent years, I believe we have continued to improve the professionalism and cooperation of the council from the councillor side as well. And it is important that we continue to work constructively together, always putting the community ahead of politics and personalities. Mumbles is a fantastic place to live, work and raise a family. We're incredibly fortunate to call this home. Let's continue working together to make it an even better place for future generations. Thank you. Okay, review the declaration and agreements, committees, subcommittees, staff and other local authorities. Item number 8. Okay. So,
So we have representatives that sit on One Voice Wales Swansea Area Committee, the Town Community Council Forum within Swansea, One Voice Wales Larger Council Committee, and obviously the Twinning Association. So it's just obviously review of those arrangements so we can continue with that.
yeah, obviously we've got the election of those roles, or the not the an election, the voting of those roles further down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that- Yeah, so this is just reviewing the arrangement. So if anyone's got any thing they'd like to change or discuss with those, then speak now or if I have hold your peace. But I think from my point of view, they're all okay. Rebecca, would you like to come in?
Yeah, it's just a question on the point of committees being able to spend. I'm sorry, the sound quality online is appalling this evening.
I will mute one sec. Just give us a second.
Okay, I'll try again. Yeah, on the point of committees being able to spend within agreed budget lines, as long as it doesn't exceed the agreed budget, I'm generally supportive. I just want to clarify if for any reason the committee schedule doesn't fall in line with timelines for when that expenditure needs to be incurred, is there still an option to bring it to council as an alternative?
I think that we're going to discuss that in item number 12, where that detail is. So this is just to review the, this is item 8, just the delegations of the agreements between the local authority, for example. So that we'll come on to that in detail at number 12. It should be in the pack.
Okay, it's in the paper for number 8 is all. That's fine.
Okay. Carrie, do you want to just advise on that?
This is obviously delegation of arrangements to committees, subcommittees and staff and other local authorities. So in the, you've got the report there that talks about, talks about the delegation arrangements that we review year on year. Also then we've got committees which at the moment have got recommendation powers, and there's the decision to be made whether you approve recommendation or they become decision-making committees. So that's in the terms of reference, that there's a decision that needs to be made there, which way you go with the reference in there. Can you hear me okay, Rebecca? Yeah, okay. So it's just to approve the delegation of arrangements to staff, which is something that we approve every year, and obviously then to agree that you're going to carry on your delegation to committees, and then there's a decision to be made on how that delegation works, whether the committees are reporting committees or they're decision-making committees, which is then that's item 12 in your review in your terms of refs.
Okay, guys. So if everyone's in favour of that, do I obviously take a vote on this? Okay, so all those in favour? Okay, thank you. Moving on. Okay, item number 9, to approve the appointment of the new committee, Property and Facilities Committee. So to approve the appointment of the new committee, Property and Facilities Committee. So this is in your pack. So as you know, the council's taken on a lot more responsibility over the last few years, and that comes with, basically in a way, facilities. We're looking at taking over the Bulls Green. We've got the skate park, and we've got Underhill, we've got Ostream, Langland Tennis Courts. They are all big ticket items which take a lot of maintenance, a lot of ongoing money and staff time. So it is obviously something important that we need to focus on. So in your packs, you've got what the mission is, what the objective of the committee, and the recommendation is to set up that committee. Kerry, did you want to add anything before I open it up?
No, so first of all, you need to get council to vote on whether you're going to agree to form a committee. And then you go on to the terms of reference.
Okay. So, first of all, then if I could take a vote to set up the committee, Property Facilities Committee, all those in favour? That's unanimous, okay. And the terms of reference is something that people might want to comment on. I'm looking over at Carrie, because I know she's our expert. So, if there's anything you've particularly...
Yeah, the original thinking, to my knowledge, was that it would be chaired by the chair of council with representatives from each of the other 4 standing committees. Now, the terms of reference are actually saying something different. So I'm just really...
Yeah, can I just point out, these are draft terms of reference, so obviously amendments can be made and then you vote on them. So you can include the amendment this evening and then we can vote to accept them with the amendment included.
Carry on, Carrie.
Because I do feel that it's absolutely critical that there is representation from all 4 committees. Because all of those committees impact on our facilities and should have input into the facilities. And therefore, I personally think that the best way of doing it is to have it as chair and a representative, that each committee elects a representative at their first meeting and that forms the committee. I think that's just the fairest way of doing it.
Okay.
That was my question. Does it have to be the chair or can it be anybody on that committee? It's answered. Thank you.
Okay. Does any other comments before I make my comments on it?
So is that how it reads?
Sorry, Pam, did you...
Is that how it reads? That it can't be anybody from the committee?
Well, it doesn't.
Well, no, at the moment it doesn't. No. So the recommendation I agree with what Carrie's saying. You've got events committee, which would want to make events changes. You've got the environmental committee. Then we were talking about plastic cups before everyone came in, and that sort of thing. So I understand that, and it all makes sense. Then I think we'd also, there's some people who are very passionate about Underhill who maybe would like to go on it that aren't selected. So I think maybe we could open it up a little bit wider, because in here it does say 9. Is that right? Yeah. So up to 9.
So basically, set it for the other committees, but if you guys want to vote to change that tonight, you're free to vote to change.
I think the chair of council chairing it makes sense personally, not because I'm chair of council, but it does, but especially when you're dealing with a rugby club and other things and like that. So So the first amendment I'd propose then is that the chair of council chairs that committee, and the second would be that each committee could put forward a representative on that. So that would be for 5.
Yeah.
You'd have 6, 7, 8, 9. So then you could have interest from another 4 following that, or maybe 2, just so that people feel that they've got the representation. Maybe another 2.
I just feel that starts getting complicated, and also we have already made our selections for committees not knowing that this would be, and it's going to be difficult. We can't all suddenly add in another committee when we've already made our decisions about which committees we want to sit on. So I don't think at this stage it's realistic. I mean, we could agree to, co-opt additional people on if we feel that there is a councillor with particular skills that we would not have otherwise. But I think that the committees should have the choice first.
Yeah.
And then after that, if we feel that there are gaps in our kind of areas of expertise, then at that point we might want to agree that we include a couple of extra people.
So would you propose that they would have voting rights, those co-opted members?
Oh yeah, as councillors, yeah. Non-councillors wouldn't have, but we could take on an additional, but we might feel that actually a tight group of 5 people is actually far more effective.
Yeah.
I think a tight group of 5 and give them a couple of months just to find their feet, see how it's going. And if they think the 5 are, and reporting back obviously to their committee on committee days, give them a chance to feel, just sort out how they want it run. Is it such a new committee? 5 would be plenty to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. We can always change things in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Does anyone have, I'm flexible on this. Anyone else have any opinions or Rich?
Yeah, I agree with what's been said there.
Yes.
Having 5 to start off with, be easier to get things done.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so just to confirm then, before is there anything else you want confirmation on? But just the chair of the council chairs
Chair
that.
of council to chair it. So just to say, to amend the composition, then that it's a maximum of 5 council members and a minimum of 3, because as per standing orders of financial reg, you need a minimum of 3 members to be quorate for any meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we could say 1 to be elected from each of the other standing committees.
Yeah.
Okay, and if there's not one forthcoming from a committee, then I guess.
The chair would have to step into the breach. The chair of the committee or vice chair, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
On that subject, maybe some committees, we have 2 people want to go on to this committee.
They couldn't, that's what.
Yeah, well then the committee decides which one.
I think, yeah, I think we can, if we keep it to the 5, then
Yeah.
if people are upset they're not on it, then we could definitely open it up. And if it's something, Rebecca, do you want to come in?
I mean, it's a separate point if you want to finish this membership debate.
Okay, I think we have pretty much cleared that one actually. So I think everyone seems agreement in the room. So yeah, Karen.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my question is back to my question under item 8, which is about delegated expenditure. So I think on the whole, it makes sense for committees to have greater control, I suppose, on expenditure that is already agreed in the budget every year. I think particularly on this committee, though, we could be talking about really big sums of money. So I have 2 queries. 1, what is the level of reporting that will be expected to full council to ensure full transparency? And 2, in the event that expenditure is required in a timescale that does not fit with a committee's timescale, does full council remain on the table as an option to get that expenditure approved?
Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, and I brought this up with our chief officer earlier actually because it was a question I had. Do you want to jump in?
Yeah, so just to explain to everybody, by giving the committee delegated powers, that does by not any way whatsoever reduce the responsibility or the powers that council have. It doesn't also negate or allow the committees to make decisions that are solely reserved for council to make. So obviously, if you decide tonight, as I've said, these are to decide on tonight that you're happy to adopt, and you can make amendments to the fill-in draft. What I would suggest is, if you've just mentioned that you've got large projects in the committees that you feel that you should put a cap on it, then you suggest an amount that says any expenditure within that project up to amount of X needs to go back to council before it's approved for expenditure. Each chair, as you know, when they're appointed into a committee, there is a chair's allowance of £500 per chair. And as you know, we changed the way that the reporting was coming in. So instead of it being questions of chair, we've made it that it was reports of the chair. So the reports of the chair will then detail the decisions that have been made and the expenditure they've made to date. And that will be a written report that will form part of our agendas, and then we'll give other members of council who aren't on the committee the opportunity to scrutinise and ask questions on what that committee's done at council meeting. And as with any committee that we've got, Rebecca, to answer your question on, like if for example, a meeting's already been done by a committee and it's after council or before, and we need to bring an item forward, we can still bring that item forward to full council and use that mechanism of full council to make the decision as well. I hope that answers your question.
So I think what Rebecca's, sorry to put words in your mouth, but basically how much money can the committee spend without it going through council was, what you're getting at really, yeah?
Yeah.
I think
I mean, that's a one way of putting it. I think the other issue is the word contentious being in the terms of reference. What is contentious to some of us might not be contentious to others. So I think some clarity on that just to protect us all.
Okay, so there could, for example, use the redevelopment of the Off-Stream Centre, because obviously that work could become contentious because it's in an area of natural beauty and all the conservation area for development. So that could then become an issue that becomes contentious with members of the public. Obviously, if you're not happy with the wording, we can take contentious out. It's neither here or there for me. It's up to you guys to say what you're happy with. But there could be an issue that you might not think is contentious, but it might be contentious to the member of the public. So it's down to interpretation, I think, isn't it, really? But happy to take it out if that's the sense.
I think it's too ambiguous.
Yeah, I think contentious is too flexible. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, obviously, as you mentioned as well, Rebecca, that there is some potentially big spend items which probably should go back to council. So I think an amount of maybe 25,000 maybe should be tops spent through the committee. Or
I mean, I've got various comments on this, which I was going to bring up later, but
okay,
I think we need to be aware of all the rules around tenders, quotes, etc.
Yeah.
And we need to fix what we can spend within a committee, not to comply with those requirements.
Kerry did mention at the start that all those procedures, all the council rules and regulations still apply, and all the tendering process, RFO would have to do all the tenders, it all have to go out and sell to Wales, everything. What I'm suggesting is that we have a limit on the amount of money. Yeah. So that anything else has to go to council, but it gives the committee that flexibility to work fast as well on some things. So
one of the things I suggested was that I mean, something like maybe 15,000-20,000 is a reasonable. We can always adjust it next year, but I think to start with, we don't want to go mad and make it too high. Is that report that comes to full council every month has to very clearly detail exactly what that money is spent on.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just one line, oh, we're going to buy this. It's got to be properly detailed. And if it isn't, I think full council can reserve the right to say, sorry, we need more than that. You've got to go back and, you know, give us more detail before we would be happy for you to go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. And obviously all the money spent is in the financial. Paul has dropped it into a separate Underhill section now, so it was all fully transparent, just to clear that up. But I agree. Pam?
I don't agree. I think this is such a brand new everything. You should come back to council and explain just for the first couple of months so we know exactly how you are working that committee and do we approve. I know the things that sometimes you've got to be able to jump and sign this and sign that, but I think as a brand new committee with a whole new budget and nobody knows has no experience for how it's going to work, I think it should come back to full council so we keep a close eye on what's going on.
I mean, all committees are kind of treated in the sense that, you know, why treat this committee differently to others?
Because it's so new and there's so many things we don't know what's going to come up.
I personally don't share that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, so does Rebecca, do you want to come in? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just checking the read across to financial regs then. So in 5, not to be too nerdy about it, but 5.15 of the financial regs says that the council has to agree all items over £5,000. So would that stand?
No, so financial for the terms of committees, that would need to be amended when you get to the approval of the financial regs and the item on the agenda.
So that could supersede that, I guess, is what.
So financial regs, it's
Mute the mic so Rebecca can hear.
No, still. She can hear now. She can hear.
So it's just in financial regs, the delegation spend is £5,000. Obviously, if you're doing delegated powers to the committees, they can spend within their budgets without having to go back to council, because those budgets were agreed in January's meeting by council as a whole for each committee. But this concern is around any larger projects. So if you capped it to say £10,000-15,000, that £10,000-15,000 would then have to be amended in the financial reg where it states it's £5,000. That would be amended to £15,000 or 10 or whatever amount you agree, and that will be addressed when you get to the financial regs that are on the agenda to approve this evening. You've made that amendment at that point there.
Okay, so I think we're all in some agreement here, but it's on the amount I mean, what is the call from the staff that you think that we would need? Do you have any sort of?
Anything over £30,000 has to go out to tender anyway, which means we have to follow the EU procurement method, which means it goes on South Wales. Anything over 3,000 and up to 30,000, we have to have 3 quotes for, and anything below the 3,000, we have to strive to get 3 quotes for. So it's up to you guys. If you think you've got, we've got in budget 55,000 for a project of the pavilion, that could be that you break that down to 10-15,000 at any given commitment spend on that.
Yeah,
budget.
Has there been any situations though where this would have been a problem? Like, I understand we need flexibility and speed,
Yeah.
but also we don't really need to bypass council too much. So
Yeah. No, so
that's
this is your option.
Yeah,
You either go with delegated powers or you stay as you are as reporting committee. It does not give to you whether you have delegate. So for example, like personnel have delegated powers because you can't have whole council involved in personnel stuff. So it's just giving you that option whether you extend that delegated powers to the other committees or you stick as recommendation committees only, and everything still goes full council for a decision.
As a kind of first stage, as it is a new committee, and this is all new. We set a limit of 15,000. And after 6 months, we review that to see whether we feel that is appropriate or whether we want to maybe increase it. So that just gives us the option to make a start, have a look, see how that works. If there are big items, then to be honest, I do feel that full council should be involved in those anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with that. I would have said 20, but I'm not gonna fight you on £5,000. So that's fine. So I mean, if everyone's in agreement with that, is that the only recommendation that we all take? Carrie, so it's the delegate powers.
Yeah, so you need to agree with your recommendation of delegated powers committee. You can read the amendment of the composition of the terms of the committee. Just need to ask me vote on that. It was then 15.
So I literally just take a vote on the 15,000 for the delegate house. Yeah. Okay. So all those in favour? Thank you. That's passed. Okay. Okay, so we've got here to appoint the chair of the Property Facilities Committee, but we've obviously already done that, haven't we? So we can bypass that one. To review and approve the terms of reference of the standing committees. Item number.
So just these are the standard terms of reference that have been every committee since even the privacy. The only amendment that's been made is it's given you the or option of delegated powers at the end. So I don't think there should need to be any amendments depending on which way to go. So just to obviously let you know that they are the ones that you've always had.
Okay, so
I think we just agreed at 15,000 across the board for all the committees. As long as it's within a clear budget line. Get detail. I mean, I have made some small suggestions, which I think might help. I do feel that committee chairs need to be much more au fait with local government finance if they are going to be managing budgets. And so therefore I would say that we should say that committee chairs must complete the One Voice Wales finance training.
Within 12 months, maybe, yeah.
I'd say within 12 months. Because otherwise they might be out. And I just think that is, because it's, not all chairs have got a particular interest in finance or and I think, being presented with spreadsheets and things, it's really important that they know how to use them. And I also, as I said before, that the reports need to give proper detail of the expenditure. So a breakdown of exactly what it is that's being purchased, who it's being purchased from, what the process, etc. Just so that we're all absolutely clear.
Okay.
You know, yeah, that's great, 10,000, yeah, we can see it's gone to Joe Bloggs and Sons to purchase, 3 raised beds to put into whatever.
Joe Bloggs and Sons don't do the beds anymore.
Oh, well, no, then I'll start again.
Okay, so number two, I think is one for the officers rather than to put into the actual terms of reference. I would hope it's just something, a good practice that we can pick up. Yeah, the training one, I think I'll just open that up to everyone, just to bear in mind, it's a good idea, but it would restrict who runs for chair. You would then have to do a course which isn't a long course, it's not anything arduous, yeah. So just to give people a chance to jump in and say, well, I wouldn't become a chair if I didn't want to do that. But I can't see anyone has any huge beef with that. So I think that seems like a good idea as well. So again, just take the vote on accepting these with that one amendment, I think, at the front, because the second one, I think is just a good practice thing for our officers to take up, which I'm sure Kerry can do. So all those in favour? Thank you. Appointment of chairs of existing committees. Nominations from the following. Community and Social Development Committee, we haven't had any nominations, but I know Ian, you wanted to.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Yes, I've done it for the past 2 years, and we have a policy on council that you have to step down. For the past 2 years, Councillor Laura Gilbert has been shadowing. She's got a full record of attendance at the CSD meetings, and I would propose she would be an ideal candidate to fill that post.
Yeah, and I'd happy to second that. Laura?
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other nominations?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because after 30 seconds. No other nominations, then I'll accept Laura's chair as the Community and Social Development. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Culture and Tourism and Communications Committee. So we have 2 nominations for this, which is Councillor David Lewis and Councillor Rob Marshall. I'm guessing if there's no request for a recorded vote, I'll I would be. There you go, Ian, you crossed tonight. So over to you, whenever you're ready. Have a little break. Yeah, you can, while Ian's prepping up, you can certainly.
Well, I think Rob's brilliant. But I do think it's great when councillors stand up. And I do feel that Rob had this chair for a really long time. I think he was vice chair last year to Angela. So when it toggles back and forth like that, I just don't feel it enables anybody else. You might as well just take it off the agenda. So I would like to propose that Rob gives Dave the opportunity.
I mean, no, sorry, I didn't realise that was going to happen then, Rob. I do apologise. I don't think that's probably something that we can. No, it's opinion, absolutely, and you're totally entitled to opinion. I think I'm not sure if we debate. Kerry, can we just get your advice on something? Are we allowed to debate the chairs, or do we just go straight to the vote? Because we can have a debate. Okay, Rob, I'll bring you in.
Right, and I don't think it's for any one councillor to raise something like that in that way, because it seems personal then. As excuse me, I'm speaking.
Yeah, give him a minute.
Thank you, Will. I think it's stirring, to be honest. That's the way I see it. Sorry, Helen. I know you didn't actually hear that, but that's the way I feel. The reason I put myself forward is because it's not just my job; it is my passion. I'm really passionate about this, and if you look at the attendance for the last 3 years for both full council, tourism and finance, which I have chaired for the last 2 years, I have 100% record for every meeting for the last 3 years. I don't think any other councillor can say that. So there's been a commitment there as well with that. I mean, Angela, and anybody who's been on the Culture and Tourism Committee for the last few years will say it's them, you know, we all get on very well. There's never any problems there. There's never any arguments. It's probably the most friendly committee I've been on anything. And there's reason for that. Because nobody tries to dictate on it. Everybody's listened to. This I'm really passionate about, and I think the fair and democratic way for this to happen is for councillors to vote on it, not on whether or not there should be a vote.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Is there any, Pam?
I think I've made my position clear for months and months and months. I've really encouraged Laura to step up. I'm so glad you're taking that. I've proposed Tim to have a new chair of finance. I think we need to, as with the training with the finance, we need to bring everybody else up. And I think as a whole council, we need to have more experienced people coming up through the ranks. And you can only do that by people like me getting out of the way and leaving it, which I've done quite deliberately, and leaving a space for other people to come up into that space. And I think it's time to give other people a shot. And it's not a new thing that I thought up this evening. You know, I've been talking about this for months and months and months. I really think new people should be given a chance, and the whole council then will benefit from that. A new perspective, a new line on things. It's always a good idea.
Thanks, Pam. Angela, I see your hand up online.
Well, what a superstar you are, Pam, to do that. It's not that I don't support David, but I fully endorse what Rob said. I think Rob is hugely passionate about the Culture Committee. I'm sorry, I keep getting some of the calls coming through here. And I actually know that he's very experienced at this position, and I fully endorse Rob Marshall. Thank you.
Thanks. If there's no
I
other
think,
comments.
you know, David should have an opportunity to reply. You don't normally have people selling themselves.
Okay, if you could put your hand up there and make any comments you like, and then if David would like to come in, he could put his hand up. Or he can put his hand up himself, I think. So if over, yes.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I was listening to that.
I know I can't hear anything now.
It's because we've been cut off, Angela.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I've had to turn my camera off. I'm really unwell. I'm trying to watch Dylan's cricket and waiting for Dean
We
to
are
arrive.
still the recorded version,
Oh,
though,
thank you,
Angela,
thank
just
you.
to let you know.
Sorry, thank you. Oh, golly. We've been kicked offline, it says.
Troublemakers. Anyway, oh look, we're back. There's Michael Eames there.
To hold you.
Stand now. I think we need. I think we are very. Yeah, this is going to be all over some kind of. Touch it. Don't touch it. Right.
Just
Off now. Do we have enough?
switch the camera on and then move the mouse elsewhere.
On the start, I'd like to say you don't come here to enjoy yourself.
Hey.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary. So, we can all settle down. Thank you, guys. So, Ian, if you'd like to call up the
Start please with Councillor Trevor Carr. Oh, I'll start.
David, I don't know your surname.
Lewis.
Councillor Rebecca Fogarty.
David Lewis.
Councillor Lord Gilbert.
Rob Marshall.
Councillor Richard Jarvis.
Rob Marshall.
Councillor Phil Keaton. Councillor Sarah Keaton.
David Lewis.
Councillor Xanthi Keaton.
David Lewis.
Councillor Lewis, please don't say out. Thank you. Councillor Marshall, please stand as well, lock yourself. Councillor Helen Nelson.
David Lewis.
Councillor Angela O'Brien.
Angela.
O'Connor, sorry.
Councillor Rob Marshall.
Thank you. Councillor Martin O'Neill.
Rob Marshall, please.
Councillor Ian Scott.
Rob Marshall.
Councillor Will Thomas.
Rob Marshall.
Councillor Harry Townsend Jones.
David Lewis.
And that concludes
I
it.
got Trevor on loudspeaker.
Where's Trevor?
Okay, Trevor, you're on. Thanks, Trevor. Okay, I'll give you a moment to top those up.
The draw.
There's me saying how professional. It's going to close it there. Eight all. Okay, so that's Rob Marshall, elected from Culture and Tourism. What's Rob? Okay. Yes, I can. There's no need for that. You can maybe apologise later. Well, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you. I know that motion,
As we always have.
very well, thank you. Environmental Committee, just one nomination for that, which is for Sarah Keaton. So, all those in favour? Okay, congratulations, Sarah. Finance Committee, could I just check Tim Zoo, who's been, he does what actually wants to do it, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's accepted the proposal.
Okay, great. Okay.
Accepted.
Great, okay, so all those in favour of Tim Zoo as Finance Committee Chair, thank you very much. Appointment of members of existing committees. So we've got that in our packs.
And this is the time because we need to stop.
Yes, because it wasn't emailed with her preferences of committee, so she can be added on. If you didn't email me, regardless of whether you're on them last year or not.
So we can have up to 9 in the committee. So if we there's 8 in there currently, so we'll just I suppose add Angela 1, 2, 3,
Sorry, which one are we?
6, 7, 8. Culture and tourism.
All right, I withdraw my nomination.
You withdraw your membership to that committee.
Yeah.
And Angela wants to add herself in. Okay. I don't think there's any content. There's no one who wants to be in a committee that can't be in one. So I think it's pretty straightforward unless anyone wants to correct me. So if,
Just to note that at the moment, there's insufficient numbers in community and social for it to run. There needs to be a minimum of 5.
okay. So we've got,
Chair, if you want, I'll take myself off culture and go on to community and social. That's
okay. If that's that's okay, Sarah. And so Ian, I just, are you hearing this or do you want to take my notes later?
I've just
You've got me down? Okay, cool. Okay, so nothing else there. So that's Sarah moving from culture to community and social, and Carrie also, and Angela being added to culture and tourism. So they're the only amendments. So all those in favour? Thank you. That's unanimous.
I also need one more for personnel and appeals committee.
Oh, sorry, yes, yeah. Okay, so the Personnel Committee, which tends to, we don't meet regularly, we only meet when we have to. It's obviously staffing issues and things like that, so we need one more person to go on that, so.
I'm happy to, because I've only gone on one main committee, so.
Okay, yeah, because Ian, I'd just like to thank Ian actually, because you've done that for how many years? 9 years?
Quite a few.
9 years, so, you know, well done Ian you put a good shift in there, so thank you. So Rob being added to Personnel Committee, is there any other nominations for that? If not, well, I'll have to take a separate vote.
I've been on that one.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, so Helen. I think there is there?
Yeah, 6, sorry. Yeah, 6, yeah.
I said I'd go on personnel.
Well, we might have to go to a vote now, because there's only
6.
Oh, it would be 6.
That's right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's the chair. 1, 2, 3. No, that would be 7 then. Chair of Council. Carrie.
Pam, Rob, Helen, Sarah.
Martin.
Oh, sorry.
There, yeah.
I will take, I just thought we needed 6, so I'll take my.
Sorry, I honestly thought it was already down. I haven't got it in front of me. So
Okay. Right, so Sarah on that and Helen off. Okay, so I'll just read out the membership of that one because there's a bit of confusion there. So Chair of Council, which chairs the meeting, Carrie, Pam, Martin, Rob and Sarah. All those in favour? Okay, that's passed. And Appeals Committee, so we need 3 people for the Appeals Committee. I don't think you met at all last year, did it? Kerry, the Appeals Committee, so.
Put my name down previously, just obviously on the basis of the fact that we don't meet very often. I'm in the full-time job now. Just point out that, you know, that will limit my availability somewhat without notice.
So previously, should have done it previously and dealt with it.
Say that for anyone. I was on it last year, didn't have to do anything, so I don't mind doing it again.
So Laura, Phil, and need one more person, or
Yeah,
Yeah, personnel, so.
I'm not on personnel.
okay. We can't really proceed with this one because we need the Appeals Committee. We need 3, so. I don't think that, like we said, we didn't meet last year, so so I don't think you'll have to. Laura. So the membership of that is Phil, Laura, and Zanti. All those in favour? That's carried. Thank you very much. Number 16. Review representation on the work with external bodies and agreements for reporting back. That's right. Okay, so review. That's just for like the external bodies such as the church, the castle, those sorts of things. Kerry, yes.
Yeah.
And
I'm just making.
the representation on the work with the existing bodies and reporting back. So that's just the way they report to us.
Yeah.
So there's no, if anyone's got any issues with the lines of communication with those bodies, I suppose this is the time to bring it up. But I think I don't see anything personally. So do I need to take a vote on that?
It's just a standard item.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So no, it's got to be.
Thank you.
To review and approve the council's annual training plan, which is in your packs. That's it's pretty standard. It's obviously assigned a budget, and we didn't spend the whole budget last year because obviously the training didn't, and that goes back into the council reserves.
It's not mandatory that to attend, but I would really recommend that you do attend because it helps you greatly and helps the council greatly as well.
Yeah. Do you want?
it's a course. I'm a government Whitestone, and the head has been on a course, and she said it's on racism and how to recognise it. And she said, I thought I knew it all, but it really shook her up. So she's she's recommending that all of us go on it. So if I give you the details of that, perhaps you could pass it around. It's a D something course.
Okay.
So she's going to send me the details. I would recommend that everybody on this committee has.
Okay, thanks. So you send that,
Like someone.
you send that to the clerk, and I'm sure she can add it to her list of. Really awesome. I'm sure that could be one of the ones considered by everyone. So all those to accept the training plan, all those in favour? That's carried, thank you. 18, to appoint observers to the meetings of the governing bodies of the following organisations.
Did you do 15?
Was the financial regs?
No, but I circled that. 15, to review and adopt the standing orders of the financial regulations.
So we just need to agree at this
Yeah.
point that you're going to amend your financial regs for your delegated spend from 5 to 15.
So all those in favour of that amendment? That's carried, thank you. Item number 18, to appoint the observers of the meetings of the governing bodies of the following organisations. So we've got Oystmouth Historical Society, which I believe Councillor Ian Scott's.
Yes, I've done that for a number of years. I'm also a long-standing member of the association. So if someone to the meetings.
So Ian's happy to go. If anyone else wants to be included, speak now. But if not, if I jot names down, we'll take a vote at the end, I guess, rather than loads of separate votes. So I'll put Ian next to that if no one else wants to jump in. West Cross Community Association.
I have in the past, I think, but Pam, Sarah, are invested as the executives, so I'd be the observer for the council.
Okay, so if you're happy to do that, Phil, that's great, thanks. Oystmouth Castle.
That's me, but it was last year changed to historic buildings, so it was the castle and the church. So they both come to the.
Okay, so okay, I mean you're doing both then. You did both last year anyway, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, do you want to do a castle? I'm quite good, I don't mind, no.
Historic buildings is quite broad.
Well, no, as in the church and the castle.
Yeah, we've got a number of churches, haven't we? I think personally I prefer to keep it as separate and just put you down for both if you want to do both.
I'm happy to.
Yeah. I mean, right. So Rob down for right. Is anyone interested in Oystmouth Castle or All Saints Church? If not, I'll put Rob down for both. Okay. Thanks, Rob. That's great. So that's Ian for Oystmouth Historical, West Cross Community Centre Phil, Oystmouth Castle Rob, All Saints Church Rob. All those in favour? Okay, thank you very much. Item 19, to appoint representation to the following organisations. One for Wales Swansea Area Committee. I'm looking at Carrie.
Yeah, I don't mind it carrying on with that.
Okay, great.
I think you can have two. I think, is that right, Kerry? Yeah. So if anyone else wants to come along as well.
I thought you two did it.
Yeah, the clerk and two councillors.
Oh, I see, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy if someone else wants to do it, but if no one else does, I'll put myself down and try and see if I can come. Did anyone?
It's only 3-4 times a year.
Yes, I've got a quarter.
Chair, I don't mind. If
Yeah, oh, there we are, Sarah, yeah, there we go, great. So Karen, Sarah, Town Council's Forum, that's just one, isn't it? Because it's representative on that, and I don't, is it something?
I seem to be on all of them, but I mean, I have been on it, and we are talking about kind of trying to work more closely together between the two. So I guess it makes sense if I'm on it as well.
Yeah, does anyone else have any?
No.
Okay. Wales Larger Council Committee. I wouldn't mind going on that if it's just, is it just once a year?
No.
No.
It's every quarter, and I've done sometimes the meetings fall, they used to sometimes fall on the night of a finance meeting, so I couldn't always go, but we're changing the night of finance meeting.
Then during the day, there are larger councils is a morning.
Sometimes,
4 times a year.
Yeah, I better not actually.
You share it.
So much.
Martin?
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say I could put my name in it's the morning because I'm retired now.
Yeah, there you go. I still work, obviously. Yeah, sometimes. Twinning is.
So that's both of us going for it, or? I said I'd continue to do it.
One voice Wales lad. Can we have two on that? Yeah.
No, I think you can only have one representative, but you can have can you have an alternate?
I think you can have a second if you can't go.
Yeah. Alternate
Alternate if you go ahead, because if you're going to be on to the way.
Yeah, tell you what, if we push it off to the next meeting, could we get some information, find out if we're allowed to alternate and if we're allowed to?
Yeah. In your place of the representative, you can't have two people. I mean, you can come, but you can only get one vote. In the very rare occasions we ever vote on anything, which is about once every 3 years. But two people, there's nothing to stop more people coming.
So Martin and Carrie down for that. And the Twinning Association of Mumbles?
Rebecca.
That was Rebecca.
She's had to go back to the meeting. So.
Yeah.
Should we?
As far as I know, she's happy to carry on.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put Rebecca down, and if she's got a problem, we can bring it at the next meeting. Okay, so it's Carrie and Sarah for One Voice Wales, Town and Community Forum, Carrie, One Voice Wales, Lords of Council Committee, Martin and Carrie, Twinning Association of Mumbles, Rebecca, all the yes, carried. Appointment of school governors. So, right, so Rob, you're currently Newton.
Yes, and there's a vacancy, isn't there?
Vacancy for Cloyne
Yeah.
So we as far as I understand, Carrie, you can answer this. We tried to put one person forward for each primary school.
Yes.
As governor.
Right.
Yes.
Newton seemed to think that it's two.
Okay.
I don't think no.
One city council, one community council.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
I'm a local authority, aren't I? Because we had this mix up, didn't we, in the governor's meetings where one thought one was community.
I don't think you're.
You have to have been appointed by Swansea Council if you're a local.
I think you're a community. Either way, you're our representative on there, so
Right.
we can take this. We can find out that in detail. What level, what name of governor you are. But so Rob for Newton. Then let's go Oystermouth. Is anyone?
I think I've got another 2 years or something.
Okay. And you still happy to do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whitestone.
They put my name down again without asking me to speak for Bex.
Pam. Cloyne
We have a vacancy.
Is anyone interested in?
Like some confusion from the last meeting when it was agended.
Yeah.
It has been confirmed you do not need to be Welsh speaking to be, because I think that was what was putting people off, is that there was the need to be
Yeah,
Welsh.
that's what's said on the microphone. Yeah, which it did sound strange, that one. Yeah. So that's.
They do speak Welsh in meetings.
They do speak Welsh, but they will give you translation.
So that is a vacancy. We'll I guess if no one's going to put their hand up, it's a live vacancy, and if anyone ever wants to do it, if we. But being a governor is quite a commitment, so I don't want to also into that. Okay, so that's still a vacancy. I've got that down as males. Is anyone?
Tim.
I
think he's.
Then we've got Grange. Sarah, are you happy to go? Yeah. Sorry, I have to continue. Okay, and then David.
I'm there as city now, aren't I? Not as a community council.
I think you can be.
Well, Pam's on it.
I'm resigned on Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if somebody wanted to be, you could send someone else, or Sarah can
double up.
Yeah, and St David's.
No one.
I've been through this before. I contacted St David's. This was brought up before. I contacted St David's, and they said there was no vacancies.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Maybe it's different.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So just to clarify, then, so we'll leave St David's off. If that's what we've heard reported about. We got Grange, Sarah, Newton, Rob, Oystermouth, Carrie, Whitestone, Pam, Cloyne vacancy, and males, Tim. All those in favour? Thank you. Review of inventory, land and other assets, including buildings and office equipment, which you'll find in your pack on item number 21. Basically a list of all our assets, like a bit of an accounting exercise and transparency for Mumbles Action Group. So just a list of all anything there. So there's basically any questions. I think the way this should work is some assets obviously get down valued every year if they're no, not if they get
You don't appreciate time community council. Yeah.
It's very valuable forever.
They value until you dispose of it, and it's whether you dispose of it and you retain an income. And if you make more than £10,000, it's classed as capital income made. And if you dispose of it, if it's like a laptop, it's just so registered, but you do not dispose. So that surprised me when I very first come into local government 10 years ago. Yeah.
Very different to limited company then. Okay, so this is obviously just for information. But if there's any questions on anything on the list, I don't see any hands. So moving on.
One question.
Oh, yes, please.
How often would one do an audit of those assets?
So it is at the moment it's done annually.
That's a question.
So at the moment it's done annually, but in the terms of reference of the new committee that you've just put forward, this is one of the things that the new committee will manage, and they can obviously decide how often they do it.
Oh, the new committee. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a stock taker.
Yes, exactly.
Nice one, Mark, right?
Exactly. I don't need to vote on anything there, do I?
Yeah.
Okay, item 22, confirm the arrangements for insurance cover in respect to all insurable risks. So I would like to say we've now got two different policies, and I'd like to thank Kerry and Hannah as well, because I know it wasn't easy getting a deep fat fryer in Underhill. But when you want chips, you got to get chips. So I think it is good for the kitchen. It's good for income, but obviously it comes with a different risk, and we've got two different insurance policies. So is there anything you wanted to add with the insurance policies?
Good.
Good. I love chips. Right.
Potato chips. Sweet potato chips.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so take a vote on. Come on, guys. Can I take a vote on that, or just for information? Okay.
Council's aware that we've got the appropriation in place.
Okay, so item 23, review of council's complaints procedure.
Just one very small thing to note, that it refers to chairman rather than just chair, and clerk rather than chief officer. So it's just amending those.
Well, I spotted you.
Okay, thanks. Look at that. I think this is due for a more general review. Yeah. So if we could maybe add that to the next meeting, and if we could have a volunteer.
We have the policies working group, which look at policies.
Well, that's pretty helpful, isn't it? There we are. So we'll have as long as everyone's.
It may not be your next meeting, that's next Tuesday. So
Yeah.
it will be the next one up. Maybe after that, we'll bring a couple of policies forward if I get the opportunity to.
Right, so we've noted those two changes already that are required, but I guess we just that till we review it in a bit more detail. So the vote needs to be taken on that now. No. Review, yeah. Review the council's policies, procedures and practices in respect to its obligations under the Freedom of Information Act and data protection legislation, item number 24. This is obviously very standard, and it's, am I right in saying off the shelf?
It's an older one, so again, this does need to be reviewed and updated and brought up to line, because there's been some more guidance issued by the ICO on freedom of information request last week, so it does need to be updated.
So if we could bring that back to the council at the same time when we do the policy document, that'd be great. Review council's expenditure incurred under S137 of the Local Government Act 1972 for the powers of wellbeing. Now, we haven't actually done any of that, have we?
Because we don't have general power of competence.
Yeah.
We've relied on, when we've done our grant awarding, we've relied on specific powers applicable to each of those grants.
Okay, so that's not really relevant, but standard.
So sometimes you might have some expenditure that falls under that we have to report on for you. It forms part of the annual return that comes back to council in the June meeting as well.
Okay, thanks. Review councillors' attendance and council committee meetings. So that's obviously available and goes on our website. So so for the public to have a look at as well. But that's obviously there of everyone's attendances and how many meetings they've been to, and it's fully transparent for people to. With an election coming up, I'm sure everyone's attendances will be 100% next year. Okay, so that's just for information. 27, determine the time and place for ordinary council meetings and committee meetings up to and including the next annual meeting of council. You've got attached in your pack, very nice looking colour coded meetings list. So
yes, and I'm gonna, if I put them in a moment, Chair.
yes, yeah, come in, yeah.
Explain. So because the committees are, we've got a new committee now, and it means that there's 6 meetings a month, including full council, plus personnel, plus any working groups that I have to do. I've spoken to the staff and we've decided that we're going to split the committees between us. So enable to Paul to attend finance, because Monday is a non-working day for him, and his working week starts on a Tuesday, and he works Tuesday to Friday. We're proposing that we move finance to Tuesdays for enable to them to go forward, and then all the timetable of all the meetings have been worked out for each committee for you there.
Okay. Firstly, does anyone have any comments before I? Anyone have any?
That printed off in colour for everybody.
Yeah, of course you can.
Please.
That would be really useful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so does anyone have anything they'd like to consider changing times or dates or anything? Laura? Yeah.
Can I just ask, with culture and tourism, are they still going to be daytime meetings or?
Well, what we'll do to accommodate you as well is do one daytime one and one evening one, so alternate each month.
Because obviously that reflects badly on my attendance, because.
Well, let's have a chat.
Yeah, because I can't.
Meeting and we see if we can all make.
Yeah.
Right, so you'll bring that back if you want to change it, will you? Because it's obviously we're voting on it now.
Do we have?
Well, it's just the date. You're not voting on.
Yeah, it's the fourth Wednesday. It doesn't say what time.
So it's just the date you're voting on, the time.
We can talk at meeting then and find it.
I might take myself off.
Guys,
we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's just the times we arrange in the meetings themselves.
Yes. So they generally tend to be evenings, apart from personnel, which we do daytime. And then obviously culture last year done alternate months of day evenings, which is what they agreed in their first meeting.
Yeah.
So it will be up to the committee on the first meeting to agree. It's
Sure. Carrie, is the environment on a Monday, is that convenient for you? Because we changed it to a Tuesday, didn't we?
We did, you're right. And
He's not chair anymore.
I'm not chair.
Committee though.
But Sarah is, but I'm sure she would prefer for it to be Tuesday, because Mondays we miss so many because of bank holidays.
Yes.
Difficult for you.
Labour group meetings.
Well, it's part of the end. So that just.
Yeah, so if we could have Tuesdays.
Just to mention.
Tuesday of the month.
So that is well, what is that? 3 meetings on a Tuesday. So you've got different staff covering those meetings. Have we got facilities to handle them?
So what we've got, they'll all be done here. So what you've got is, they're not all on the same night, don't worry. They're all on different, it's all in the month. So it's you've got council, you've got AGM tonight, you've got full council next week on the Tuesday, and then there might be another meeting on the Thursday next week. So there'll be at least 2 meetings a week for 3 weeks of each month. So there'll be 1 week when staff aren't attending meetings, and to ensure that no member of staff is getting burnt out with the committees between us. So for example, I will do full council and personnel, Paul will do finance, Hannah's going to do the facilities committee, Kat will do culture committee, so Sarah's going to do community and social, and Mary's doing environmental, so they're all covered by an officer, and obviously Ian will be agenda in a minute as he does.
All right, guys, let's finish this off. I'm sure everyone would like to, Ian, come on now. Right, let's get through this last little bit. Okay, so are we changing that committee then to a Tuesday, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tuesday, yeah.
The only change here is environmental changing to Tuesday, fourth Tuesday of the month. All those in favour of the rest of the recommendation with that change, thank you. To receive nominations of the Honour of Mumbles Award, I believe we've only had one nomination.
Were we asked to send in nominations?
It's in our standing order.
It was a policy that
In
you
the policy,
voted
but it has to be done before the meeting. Yeah, it is in. We've got one, but Rob, would you like to, because you're the nominee? I have to second it, but.
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to my ward councillors, fellow ward councillors about this.
Well, sorry to interrupt, Rob, sorry to interrupt. I think we do this in closed session. Did we? We haven't got it in the agenda because in case it's personal information.
to the meeting next week.
We move it to next week and then that gives other people.
Well,
the opportunity.
I don't know if that's particularly fair either.
No, that's not fair because
This include closed session,
Yeah.
defer till next week. It's my advice. The agenda.
Okay, rather than, so
We just take what to a vote.
That would be.
the nomination.
the nomination, so I've not.
Just calm the room a second, okay? So we obviously have a procedure for these things. It was in the policy that was brought forward that you had to send in a nomination a week before, was that right? Okay, Rob's the only one who's remembered to do that, it looks like. If we were to debate and go over it, then I would definitely move it into closed session because there might be some opinions that are voiced.
Yeah.
However, that would be unfair on Rob because he put forward a nomination and no one else has remembered to do so. So we'll take it to a vote. If the vote fails, then we will bring it next month. I think that is fair on both counts.
What are we voting for?
So, Rob, you just literally just state who you've nominated,
Yes.
and I will take that to the vote.
I've
We can check with Kerry if you like. Kerry,
So is this public now?
yeah, Kerry. Sorry, Rob. If I could bring in Kerry, is that course of action acceptable to you?
Session. Obviously, you can debate it here tonight. If people are going to want to express an opinion and are not happy, then you defer and you do it in group session.
So, yeah, I'd like to say, I'm just gonna move to the vote after Rob, if you just do the nomination.
yeah.
Am I
No,
allowed to make an amendment to say we do it in?
you,
But I don't think
if you want to make an amendment, you can, we can vote on that, yes.
in amendment that we do this in closed session. I don't think it's fair to name somebody in
No.
open session and it is open to anybody there. I don't think it's fair.
So-
Yes, I'm just saying I don't think the procedure is fair on that.
Absolutely, that's fine, we can vote on it now. So what Pam is asking to do is move essentially to the next month, because we can't go to closed session unless it's on the agenda. So all those in favour of moving the Honour of Mumbles to next month, or next Tuesday's meeting, I suppose. So all those in favour of moving it to next Tuesday? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and all those in favour of potentially going straight to the vote now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and abstention? Abstain. Okay, so that's carried, and it goes to the so that's 6, yeah, 6 to 7. 6 to 7 goes to the next meeting.
That means though that nobody else is allowed to nominate anybody else.
This
was the date.
It was, that's for Kerry, let's pick that up after the meeting, that's for Kerry to decide, it's not my decision, okay? So that's, Pam's quite within her rights to bring that forward, and that has carried, so that'll be moved off to the next meeting, okay. All right, guys, that brings the meeting to a close. Thank you all very much, and thank you for your support, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you.